Hey, my artist friends, Dan Edmondson here. Hey, I want to take a minute or two, or as long as it's going to take, to go through and then show you exactly how this weekly painting class will work. Because a lot of times when you're looking at buying something, you're like, okay, we're going to get videos, we're going to get this, how's that all going to come together? And I'm going to make a video that'll show you how it's all going to work. Now, when I set out to create this course, what I tried to do was create the course that I would have wanted when I was really struggling to get better and better and better. I mean, we're always struggling to get better, but back kind of when at the point where I was where the masses are trying to get better and better and better, this is the course that I wanted. And really, in reality, this is the course I needed more than the course that I wanted. And I think that's an important distinction because oftentimes the course that we think we want or are not isn't maybe exactly what we really need. And this is the course I would have needed at the time. So anyway, I just think that's of interest. So let's get to it, and I want to show you. Let's start here by showing you what a module looks like. So this would be module number 1, okay, for the weekly painting class, and it's part of the Art Masters program. It really is the Art Masters program. And the very first thing what'll happen is every week you'll get an email. Okay, in that email, we'll say, hey, this is what we've got going on this week, and we kind of explain it, and then you come to the module. And then when you get to the module, you will get an overview video, and that's what I've got going on
Dan
right
here. Welcome to the weekly painting class and module number 1.
So what that welcome or that orientation or the module video, the overview video, tells you about what that module is about. So let's go on down, and I want to show you some stuff. This is what you get every week. All this stuff here changes every week right here. And then in addition to that, you're going to get some stuff, all this stuff and links and stuff that don't change every week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, let's just kind of talk about the course, how it works. So you're going to get an email with a link to it, and it's going to take you to each module. And then in the module, we're going to have demo videos, and that's what this is, Lilacs in Copper. This is our first one, right? And this is a 2-parter, and I think each part's like an hour long. So let's just see if we can't type that in. So you're going to get, hang on a second, there we go. It should, hopefully, if I typed quickly. Oh, I didn't type it quite right. Sorry about that. So there we go. Okay, so there, I've typed in the password, and that opens it up. This first part is just under an hour long, and you can see me going. So then you just hit play, and it'll go through the loading phase and all that. But you just jump
any of these pieces of
lead. And let's just keep jumping.
I'm just going to spend 20 minutes.
And I'm talking, and there you're starting to see it become developed, and so on and so forth. So anyway, we go on and on and on with this, and
kind of getting a sense of what, a little bit of that copper. So, I'm not thinking any.
When I hear myself talk, it distracts me. So anyway, that's the first thing, is just the demonstration for the week. The next thing that you're going to get are photos. So here are some photos for the first week's painting. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? Here's another photo. And what I give you, oftentimes I'll give you more than one photo. And the thinking is that, some of them are higher resolution, some are lower resolution pictures that are easier to view on the screen so you can blow up. Others are for printing. Some are lighter, some may be darker, some may be from a different angle. That's what you normally get when you see me with different photos. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. So then, in addition to that, you're going to get a motivational tip, and that is this one here. So we'll click on that, and so we're clicking on that, and there, this is the first motivation. First thing is a motivational overview. We kind of talk about motivation, and then the tip is right here, rituals and habits, and that's what we talked about that week. So let's go back to module 1, and then you can see we have a tip video, and this tip video is cool advanced tip for composition and drawing. We talked about that, how to get drawing right, and that's important because as we go through this course, we'll be doing portraits and other things where drawing is really quite sensitive. So that's why I give you that. And then this would be marketing module. So the first one we have is just a marketing overview. And we talk about all the different things we're going to cover and kind of like provide you a checklist of marketing. And then here is webinar replays. And this is where a webinar replay would be posted. So the first webinar is going to be on the 11th for this course. So on the 12th, you could come here and find that replay for that webinar. And here you can click on here to see where you register for the next webinar, and you go and click there. Now, how do the webinars work? I'll talk about that in a minute. I don't want to overwhelm you with stuff, so let's just move on. Also, oftentimes I'll give you a bonus. In this case, it's how to hold the brush, which on the surface may seem like a kind of a silly thing because it's just holding the paintbrush, but boy, how you hold that paintbrush has so much to do with how the paint is applied in terms of thickness and pressure and just the sensitivity that you can do. So there's a lot of different ways to hold the brush that really are important. Now in here, before I go on, let me just show you a couple other modules just for fun. Here is another module. Here is an overview video. Again, this is from module 30 of the weekly painting class that we've launched. And here is, we would see a demo in here. And you can see that. And let's look at the picture just for fun. Here's the pictures. And again, you can see I give you 3 different pictures of that painting. And one's darker, one's lighter. I'm not sure what all the differences are, but when you looked at them, you'd see them. And again, I do that to give you different ways to paint that thing. Now, sometimes you'll get still life, sometimes you'll get landscape, sometimes you get portrait, sometimes you'll get even animals. We've done animals before, and sometimes figure. But for the most part, I would say we do more still life than anything because it's easier. It's the easiest venue to teach from because there's advancing, receding planes, things that exist in all, but definitely exist in still life. But we definitely teach all of it. So anyway, coming down here, what I also wanted to show you was we have what's called the weekly painting group, and that's on Facebook. And that is the place where people go and they talk about art that are in the class. They share ideas, they share their pictures of paintings they've done, and they ask for help from each other, pictures of the studio, there's a picture of someone's painting, and they just a lot of questions. They share other things about art. So it's a fantastic community. And really, that's the beauty of this course. I mean, you can get demos and tips anywhere, but this community that's created from the Facebook page and from the webinars, that's probably the best part of the whole class. So anyway, I'm just showing you there's a painting from the class and another one, just like we were talking about, another one. So it's just kind of a fun thing that people have done with the class. The sharing information in the class. So anyway, let's go on and just so that's what that is. Here's if you want to make suggestions for the class. Here's how to register for the webinar. You basically just click there and you click here for the next webinar and you type in your name and email address and then you're registered, and then right before the webinar you're going to receive an email and you just click on the link and it'll take you right to it. So it's really super easy. This is a list. This is kind of cool. This would be a list of the modules as they've been handed out to you. Okay, so here's a cool one on production worksheet and pricing, how pricing really can affect how you can look at performance in your studio and how that relates to income. And marketing's not for everybody, but I still think it's something good for everyone to know. Here's how to have a fire sale. Here is marketing blueprints, how to make business cards, how to make a blog, how to do tent shows, getting on Pinterest, doctor's offices, home shows, and eventually we hit approaching galleries. So anyway, that's a really kind of some good stuff. And then these are all a bunch of tips. You can see there's a demo there, another demo, and different how to stretch canvases, playing with extra canvas, how to do things on the computer. just a ton of information. And that was just like the first, not even the first 10 modules. And you can see it goes on and on and on and on and on with good information. So anyway, you can't accuse me of not giving you enough. If anything, people have a tendency to feel overwhelmed, but that's because they're doing the class wrong. You're not supposed to do everything I give you. You're supposed to work at your own pace, keep it fun, do the paintings you like, skip the ones you don't like. It's really that simple. Here is a whole bunch of tips, my weekly tips, all in one nice little place where you can just go click on those and watch those. Here are some resources. This is a whole bunch more stuff that we give you, but I won't even get into that now. Anyway, so that's it. That's how the course works. Every week you're going to get a different, this all will be different. Every other week you're going to get what's called a bi-weekly challenge, where we say, hey, for this week, let's try something fun and try taking what we learned about eye path and eye movement and do a small abstract painting. And that's what this is about, is the challenges for that. And then if you want to look at previous challenges, you can go through and see, you know, we have had challenges about edges, about brush strokes, all sorts of fun little challenges. And those come out every other week. And the reason those come out every other week is every other week you're going to get a demo, but then the other weeks, like say the first week you have a demo, the second week I'm just going to give you pictures to paint. And this is kind of my way of combating getting too overwhelmed with everything. So let me just show you, for example. So if you looked at this, you would see the pictures here, and I give you some different pictures to paint, you know, a harder one and an easier one, and then I tell you how I would paint them. And so it's a kind of a demo, but it's only like a 5-10 minute demo. This one, let's see how long this one is. Let's just go here. It is 8 minutes long. So I just tell you how to do it. So it isn't a big stressful thing. So you only watch the demos every other week, and then you can paint on your own the other weeks, or just use that time to get caught up. It really makes it super easy. What else can I show you about this module? I think that's about it. I guess we could talk about the webinar replay. So let's go to this webinar replay and kind of show you how that works. So the way it works is you've signed up for the webinars. The webinars are going to be probably Thursday nights from 7 to 8, 8:30. Normally they go hour and a half. And you would send in your paintings if you want to, and then I will look at them one by one and do a quick little talk about them. And at this time, here's the beauty of that, is you get to compare and see your painting and see everyone else's and steal their good ideas. And it's again, this sense of community that I think is so important that this program creates. All right, now this video is already going longer than I wanted it to, but I really felt like I wanted to talk to you about everything, you know. And the next thing I really want to talk to you about is super paintings. Every now and then I'm going to give you a super painting. And what that means, let's just jump forward on the video. And
the distinction
has sent one in. There's someone else's painting, someone
the
else's painting where they've sent them in, and then we just talk about them.
Whole story here, and, or maybe stick it
and tell them what I would do maybe to make them a little bit better. At the beginning, though, a lot of times what I do is answer questions. People will submit questions, and then I will answer those questions. And also, you can actually in the webinar hit a button that raises your hand, and you can actually come on and ask me a live question, you know, and you'll just ask a question in front of everyone, and I'll answer it. And it's just a really good way for us to have some good feedback. Anyway, I know that I'm rambling now, so I'm sorry about that. So that is it. The other thing I never finished I wanted to tell you is about the super paintings. What it is as we go through the course, I'm going to give you a certain amount of what I call super paintings. And those are the paintings that have been crazy good sellers for me. It's the kind of thing I could have sold 20 of them if I had 20 of those paintings. And I will, and you're going to get those. And I know one guy just recently sold one of the super paintings and sold it for $650, something like that. And it paid for his entire class and all the other paintings and all the other super paintings he's got above that. I know another guy that did a tent show and sold a bunch of the Art Masters program paintings and sold more than anybody else in the show. Anyway, it's not to say that you're going to have those results. You know, I have to say that. I don't know what kind of results you'll have, but I think it's a good program, and like I said, it's the program that I needed at the time. All right, hope that helps. I hope to see you at the webinars and see your paintings. Have a fantastic day.